Screen Bros back at it again. This time with the best movie ever.
Let's say
The
the best
Batman
movie we have seen so far on this YouTube channel,
podcast. Yes, this
podcast, YouTube
yeah,
channel, whatever
whatever.
it is.
This movie exceeded my expectation exponentially. So I want to hear Steve's kind of his beginning thoughts on this. Steve, I want you
All
to
right,
fire off a little bit.
all right. I came into this movie with a giant expectation, right? I didn't watch anything but one trailer. I didn't read anything going into this. I waited until I saw the movie. But even then, I was still coming in very, very high. I thought I'm going to be let down. There's no way that this movie could give me any type of, wow, what the fuck, this is good. But you know what? This is one of the best movies that I have ever seen in my entire life. And there's people that I've read afterwards that are saying that this movie sucks, that it's
They're crazy.
fucking boring, it's too long, it doesn't have any uh coherent story. There's characters in the movie that don't need to be there and all this jazz. Oh, and he's emo because he's wearing makeup on his eyes. Every Batman had fucking makeup on his eyes. They just didn't show him take it off. I just want to say this. The Batman by Matt Reeves is the first live action Batman movie that has felt like Batman to me ever.
It was so good. And the emo reference, just put a little beyond in there and you're fine. Just a little
Not
bit.
only not
Not a
only
lot.
that, what is he emo about? Like, oh,
His
he's
parents died?
oh my god, that's so
What?
bad. Like, yeah, of course he's gonna be. This dude's suffering from PTSD. We have never seen a Batman character, Bruce Wayne, showing human emotion. Let's be real here. Look at the Nolan movies. He's a billionaire playboy who, okay, maybe that's the way he's taking his PTSD by going and doing elaborate things with money and acting out and whatever.
The
This
Playboy
is a
portion
very,
of it,
yeah,
you know?
right, exactly.
Yeah.
This to me is a very real take on what somebody would be going through if their parents died and they didn't know anything but the
This,
lifestyle that he led. You know what I mean? And
yeah, and
you
this
have
coping
it
mechanism that he
right,
has.
exactly. And what is he doing to coping with, with all this? He's being a vigilante and he's being justice and vengeance. You know what I mean? And
Vengeance.
it's
Which is the whole arc of
awesome.
the movie. That whole
Exactly.
vengeance is the arc of the movie. A lot of people
That's
didn't
the
get
biggest
that
thing.
too. A lot of people didn't understand that. A lot of people are bashing this movie, but that
And
self growth of him of Batman.
exactly. Well, and let's take it right here. We're gonna go spoilers already.
Sure,
So the
sure.
beginning of the movie, he's again, this is one of the best intros to a Batman or a superhero movie that I've ever seen. I felt frightened by this character. The way they set him up talking about how, Halloween night, all these people that are out and they're afraid of the shadows and hearing his footsteps
So
because of
good.
what he's been doing. That's Batman. That is what Batman is supposed to invoke in Gotham, is getting criminals scared to do anything because he could be there even though he's not. So you
Yes.
set that up and he has a fight scene and the guys say to him, "Who are you?" And he says, "I am vengeance." At the end of
Yeah.
this movie, to bookend it, Riddler's goons, or whatever you want to call them, henchmen, I don't even know at this point, Reddit followers,
Yeah.
um, said same thing. They ask him, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm vengeance." And you could see without Batman, Bruce Wayne, whoever you want to say, ever saying anything, you can see his face go, "I've been doing this the wrong way."
Can I can I
And
make
then
can I make a little point on that?
go for it.
The so they say that a lot of acting's in the eyes, right?
Oh yeah,
A lot
100%.
of it, a lot of it's in the eyes, but this movie he did. I think it's in it's the eyebrows, like 100%. I
Oh,
like
okay.
because that's where all your expression comes from is mostly your eyebrows and how big. Or
Sure. Sure.
he did
I
such a
get
good
that.
job acting through that mask in this movie. I don't think any other Batman masked has done as good of acting as Robert Pattinson had. Like the way he was able to portray emotion inside that mask is, I
I
still
agree.
think, the best.
I definitely agree.
Hands down, the best.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm saying, in that scene, he is acting with the Batman cape on, everything, the mask on, and you can see him going through the emotions of, oh shit, I fucked up. This isn't the way to go about it. And what does he do right after that? He goes down and basically sacrifices himself almost. You know, you don't know if he's going to do it or die when he jumps on that live cable to save all those people underneath, cutting it
It
and then falling down and
and
then
it felt
saving
like
all
a
those people.
it felt like a complete 182. He's going to save these people instead of beat these villains' asses. Because that was
Well, and
that was the big change, like the hyper focus thing. You know,
sure,
worked
not
out
only
great.
that, we're talking about bookending things too, right? So the beginning in that same
Yeah.
fight, there's a guy on the ground that he reaches out to afterwards who he's saving, and he's scared. That guy is scared of Batman. He even says, "Don't
Yep.
beat me up or don't kill me or whatever." At the end of the movie, when he's helping out that lady onto the stretcher, she stays holding on to him to say, "I don't let me go. I want you to help me." That is
Yes.
such an awesome character arc and development that we don't see in movies that much anymore because it happens over a
Especially
period of a
superhero
movie.
movies. Especially.
Exactly. I'm so sick of being beaten over the head with stuff saying, this is how you should feel, this is what's happening right now, and it's spelling out to me what's going on. Yeah, okay, this could be, oh, it's on the nose, of course, she's reaching out to him, the other guy, blah, blah. But it happens in such a way that the movie allows it to breathe, right? We
So
go on
good.
this journey with
So good.
Batman. People sit here and say, 3 hours. Okay, it's like 2:45 and then the credits, right? Okay,
Yes.
Lord of the Rings is longer than that. Fucking
There's been
people,
a bunch of movies that have been longer than that.
not only that, these same
Not a
people are the
superhero movie
people.
though. I haven't been able to find a superhero movie that's quite clocked in at 3 hours. So this is
Okay,
special. It's a little
I'll
special.
give you that. But those same people are the people that are sitting on their couch binge watching an entire series of Netflix for 8 hours. So they have no fucking room to talk. You know?
Hey, I feel attacked, Steve. I feel like
Look,
you're attacking me
go,
right now.
but you're not complaining about the length of this movie. This movie
No,
to
this
me
movie
is
needed it.
perfect.
I actually feel, and to touch one of our bullets, we have a when we categorize anyone that's new or that's been here for a while, we have a specific category that always scores low, which is the replayability. And for this one, for me, it's complete opposite. This one
And yeah,
I'd watch a million times. I cannot wait for it to come out on HBO Max. I cannot wait.
right.
It needs
Which
to
is I
ASAP.
believe May like 25th or something. It's I believe
Yes,
60
and you got
days
the
or
date.
45 days or after, yeah.
And you have see.
So,
This is what I'm saying. So this movie is so good.
it really is. There's nothing about there's I have one gripe, okay? One itty bitty tiny gripe about this movie. But it can be easily called back with he's a superhero or he's Batman or whatever. The part where the guy drives the car in the funeral scene and he gets out and he's got the bomb around his neck. When
Yeah.
that bomb explodes, Batman is literally in his fucking face and just gets blown backwards. And he doesn't even have charcoal on his face or his beard hairs are tinged up.
Anyone ever watch Hurt Locker? That
Right.
close, you die. You get
Yeah.
rocked and you die.
Again, if he maybe like used his cape and like shield himself or jumped away at the last minute, I would have been like, all right, perfect movie. Like, perfect movie.
Is it
But
just
that one little thing irks me still.
that was that Peter Sarsgaard guy? Every movie, his
Yeah.
voice and his acting is so weird to me. It
Well,
works
there's so
fine,
many.
but it's
Yeah,
so him specifically kind of, I don't know, just feels weird. I get creeps. Remember we were in the movie theater. We went on a mandate, just in case anyone didn't know. That's how we
yep,
do things around here.
yeah.
Yeah. But I
Your
remember
bro
looking at
date.
Steve's because I went into this movie completely blank. I
Sure.
actively did not want to see anything. I was like, look, that guy could be the bad guy. 100% could be the bad guy. And Steve's like, it's
And
not. I'm like,
I
oh,
knew it
okay.
only because I know who they casted
Exactly,
for
and I had
the
no
Riddler, and
idea.
okay, all right. And maybe I shouldn't have said, "You're fucking wrong, Wally. What are you doing?" But
I
I
like Paul
digress.
Dano and that Beach Boys thing, the Brian
Yeah,
Wilson thing he did. I thought he did a great
yeah.
job with that.
Oh, well,
Anyways,
and let's talk about the main villain of this movie. A lot of people are always going to say that
oh, the Joker.
the Joker is the best villain of all time, which it always has been. Even before Heath Ledger did his thing, Batman's villain has always been the Joker, and Jack Nicholson did it. Whoever did it in the original Batman movies from the 50s and 60s did an amazing job. You could say that Jared Leto was the worst thing to ever happen to Batman. I will say yes. But
I
yeah,
think he was just out of place, but yeah.
Yeah,
wasn't
I'll give
great.
you that. But in this movie, you have the Riddler, which is a very fresh take on the character, and I didn't have any problems with it. People, again, complaining about he's kind of over the top with his laughing and yelling and whatnot. The dude's deranged. He's clearly so smart that he's gone crazy,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And he tried to have a
And
shtick in here. I didn't really notice until after we left the movie theater, where he like elongated his words, like he couldn't finish.
yeah,
You
I
remember? You know
get
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
get it
notice
now.
that
Now
until
that you're saying
afterwards.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Like all these.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
no, just I thought he played the role perfectly because he was so different than anything we've ever seen before. Even looking like to a David Fincher type movie that everybody's saying that this is. It's he's just ripping off things from the last Batman and David Fincher type movies or Seven and stuff like that. Like, what do you
Everyone
want?
pulls from somewhere, man. I say
Right, but I'm
90% of these
saying,
actors pull from somewhere.
what do you want in a Batman detective movie? This is the first movie I've ever seen
Oh,
Batman being an actual detective in.
oh,
Yeah,
it's so
he's
good.
sitting there brooding and doing his thing, but there's a part when he's in the Riddler's, I guess, apartment complex, and there's a cop, and he basically says to him like, "Hey, what are you doing here? You can't be here." And he just stares at him, doesn't say a word, and the guy's like, "All right, cool, all right, whatever." Same thing. He picks up the murder weapon. You can't be touching that, and he just stares at him.
It's funny
All
because at
right,
that point in the movie, I think everyone knew that if he didn't, that Batman was probably just gonna beat his ass. You know,
right,
like I feel
yeah,
that
exactly.
it's like,
What are you gonna do?
yeah,
What are you
yeah,
gonna do?
exactly,
Right, exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
the diligence to him specifically and what he does, and like usually you can find it's some of it feels far fetched in other movies, right? So a
yeah.
lot of those things felt like they were at home with this movie. I remember the building scene, which was great. He gets up there and he's escaping from the what was it the police department, and he goes to
Mm-hmm.
jump and he second guesses himself. He's like, oh, okay, well, here we go. Puts on his bat
Right.
suit, flies down his wing bat suit, by the way, a little more
Amazing.
grounded. I like that. And he flies and
Yep.
he eats shit. He deploys a parachute and eats shit. I was like, okay, that's dope. And then later in the movie, we see the parachute silhouetted on his leg as like one of those little leg parachutes, almost like he was like a drag car or something like that. I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm in.
Genius.
This is
Right.
dope. This is great.
And the cool thing is, it's there the entire movie if you pay attention.
Yeah,
So
I didn't notice it until then, but yeah, it's
yeah.
dope.
And
Good.
to go back to the Nolan Batman movies, and everybody saying that those were grounded in reality, and they were going to be the gritty take of the real version of Batman. There's still fantasy elements in those movies that even when I watched it, I was like, come on, bro, like you could do better, or be
Yeah,
real. If you're trying to be real, be real. This movie was the realest depiction of a superhero
grounded.
type, grounded, whatever
Yeah.
I've ever seen, and this Gotham is the Gotham that I've been wanting since Batman the Animated Series.
The whole
It
gothic
comes
esque. I mentioned like
just
the old
grimy
'90s
and
TV
yeah,
show or Gargoyles. Just the way
it's
his manner looked, and then parts of it looked futuristic. This was great. I think the scene and the cinematics in this were phenomenal. It was so good, and the music to
the
boot.
well, we're gonna get to the music in a second. I want to get to what you're talking about with cinematography here. In the beginning
So
scene
good.
with the Riddler and I guess that's the mayor, right?
Yes.
When he's behind him and the mayor walks away, and all you see is the silhouette of the TV on the Riddler's glasses. I got
Just making him
shivers of
look
just
deranged.
oh my god, it was so amazing. From that point forward, I was like, I'm in. This movie is what I've been waiting for. A gritty. It should have been rated R. That would be another little gripe I would want, but it felt pushing that edge of PG-13 at times.
This was. I mean, it wasn't bloody, but like, didn't they have an
Right.
F-bomb? I believe they had an F-bomb.
They had one F-bomb, which you can do in a PG-13 movie.
How many are you allotted?
I believe it's one.
Oh, you're allowed
So,
one. Okay.
right, they
That's
did
the
that very
stipulation,
well. Before we get to the music, I want to say Colin Farrell is
huh?
completely unrecognizable in this movie, and
100%.
in a good way. I think this is a Oscar-worthy performance because you can be so good at doing a character and everybody knows that's the character that you do. Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise in every fucking movie he's in. Will Smith is Will Smith. Colin Farrell normally is Colin Farrell.
Well, I don't know.
If
I've seen some roles where he's kind of mimicked and shapeshifted and other things. But
okay,
yeah.
sure, I'll
I
give
think
you that.
Colin
But
Farrell's a great actor. I think he's a phenomenal actor.
oh no,
And in this,
definitely
if this is testament to this, those
right.
makeup and outfit people that worked on him
Amazing.
was perfect. That was amazing. It did phenomenal. It didn't look like a fake suit. Didn't look like anything. I don't even know if there's any CGI whatsoever that went into any portion of his scenes. I really have no idea, which is I want to
maybe
feel
a little bit.
You know,
but
I want to
don't think
feel
so,
like
yeah.
it. I don't
Yeah,
think there's
no,
any point in this where I was like, oh, it is CGI. Maybe 2 points. There's like a Batman fight scene, and then there was the car jumping through the fire right before that. Those are the only 2 parts. I was like, just a little bit.
That
But
was
whatever. That's
definitely-
me being nitpicky like a son of a bitch. It looks so good.
Yeah, but the car jumping through the flames and everything, that was practical. That was not CG.
Not right before. Right before it jumped through the flames was all CG. But yeah.
Oh, you're talking about where they're like the
ramp.
trailers are lining up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That definitely. But
that
the
was
car
it.
itself
That was
jumping
it.
through.
That was it for me.
Let's talk about the Batmobile real quick because
Oh my god.
they're throughout the whole first part of the movie. There's
It's a
engine
man's
parts.
car.
Well, hold on, there's engine parts and stuff lying around, and
That
you
he's
can see
working on,
that
yeah.
he's been working on this car, and you can see it kind of in the background, but you can't really see what's going on. And then the reveal is just as good as the reveal as Batman himself from the shadows
dark.
starting up and just boom coming in. I got chills during that. Man. Like, oof.
I love go see us in theaters, but I love that humongous sound when you're watching something in theaters. When that car kicked on, I was like, "Oh gosh!" I was like, "Holy
This
shit, this is amazing."
This movie rivals any movie with its soundtrack and sound design. I've never been moved so much from just the sound effects.
I know, and it was
Music, oh, yeah.
They used Nirvana, and then they also used like symphonic stuff, and then they used stuff so grounded like a piano just for theme purposes for specific
Right.
people, and it was perfect the whole
right.
time.
I'm not even talking about the music. I'm talking about the sound of the movie. Every gunshot that went off, every tire squeal, or just anything just felt like
You were
fucking
there.
in your face, and you were right there. And I've never had a movie besides Saving Private Ryan that made me feel that way with just sound.
It was so good. It's
Amazing.
Other parts. Is there anything you want? So I have a couple things so this is the movie, real quick, before we jump into anything else, that I think I've had more than 110 score on. We have 10 categories, and it's a 1 out of 10 for Steve and I. We do this before we get together. We don't know each other's scores. This is the first time I've had more than one.
I'm going to
10.
guess there's 110 on sound and music.
Yep, 100%.
That's my only 10 in this movie.
So
the rest are all 9s.
Yeah, so mine's close. So the only other one for me was the cinematics. So that was the first time I've had, because the scenery in this was so freaking. This was amazing. Everything about this was.
Yeah, I'm normally very hard on movies. I'm very picky when it comes to certain things with movies. If you see me on other shows, you might say, "What the fuck, you like shitty movies?" I do like shitty movies, but I'm not going to say they're masterpieces.
Yeah,
this
plug.
is a masterpiece. Little plug for the decision reel. Wally, take that plug.
Yeah. So we had Steve and I. Well, it's mainly so Steve's kind of is the leader of the band, the group of misfits. But we have it's called the decision reel, and we review movies. We all get together once a week. We review at this point, it feels like we review kind of obscure movies, not necessarily, but that's what it feels like. And if you check it out, there's like YouTube. There's a YouTube channel. There's a what other plugs?
So we're on all podcasting networks. We're on YouTube.
There's a TikTok now.
There's now a TikTok. Yeah. Okay, I can't believe that happened. But
the decision
we digress.
Reel.
Right, the decision reel. If you want to look at us review just random movies that every host picks every week, again, it's completely random, whatever person's feeling. We're doing a March Myers right now, which has been, I would say, pretty fun. But getting back to the Batman, because I can't stop thinking about this movie, how visceral it was.
Just want to watch it again.
I just want to watch it again, and I'm thinking about taking my wife to go to the IMAX and watch this movie again because it's that fucking good.
Ugh. Oh,
that good. Any person who wants to sit here and say that this movie is not good, that this movie is is worse than The Dark Knight, you can get the fuck out of here, dude. The Dark Knight is a great movie, but the Nolan movies were great, but they never felt like Batman movies to me. They felt like just an action movie that had Batman in it. You know what I mean? Like, why does Batman need to go to China? Why does he need to be doing this and doing that? It's just never felt Batman-y and dark and gritty, and it never felt detective-y. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's got
Batman,
some cool...
necessarily.
Right, he had
It
cool
depends on your
fundamental,
your core beliefs of Batman too, I guess. But it's literally written in the comic. He's a detective.
I mean, the first issue is Detective Comics. You know
Exactly.
What I mean?
So like,
DC is Detective
Fight
Comics.
me, bro.
Right. So this movie,
yeah, hang this up for us with your this last part, Steve. Tell people why they should go watch this movie.
You should go watch this movie because it's something different, right? There's not a lot of directors or writers or places right now that are making movies that aren't safe. This movie does not feel safe. It feels like somebody said, hey, I had to make these other movies, so this is my shot. Let me make this movie how I want to make it. And a company, big old company, Warner Brothers, let this movie happen. And this movie is better for it. It's
100%.
gritty. It's real. It's visceral. It's in your face. It makes you think. It gives you time to think. That's not a lot of movies don't do that. A lot of movies don't hit you with something, then give you time to let it breathe and for you to come up with your own thoughts before the movie continues. And you could sit there and say, well, that's boring. I don't want that. I don't want to sit through stuff like that. What the fuck do you want to sit through? Like, if you're watching entertainment and it's just hand feeding you all this shit.
Those are the same people that want like an oatmeal raisin cookie, Like,
I mean, I get it.
I get there's nothing wrong with it, but go out and be adventurous.
That's what I'm saying.
Go get a Twinkie or a Ding Dong or something. Right. Be adventurous.
If you don't want to think when you're watching a movie, go and watch stupid shit like Real Housewives of whatever, and just do that. Jersey Shore yourself out of existence. This movie makes you think and gives you everything you want if you're paying attention.
I get we've been fed a lot of superhero movies over the past 2 decades, but this is a superhero movie, but this is also in a class of its own. So I 100% recommend you go see this. If you're a fan of movies, if you're a fan of Batman, if you're a fan of just hero stories. You could be a fan of dramas too.
Approval. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This movie has every genre in it. If you want to think about it, yeah. There's a couple jokes, and people will say it's not funny. Horror, drama,
suspense, maybe. I don't
romance,
know,
kind of.
Yeah.
Anyways, this movie's just. We could sit here for another half hour just discussing how good this movie is.
Steve, what was your final? What was your final score on this?
So, I thought about this one for a while because I wanted to make sure every one of my answers were correct, and I just couldn't not give it the score that I gave it. Every category scored a 9 out of 10 minus sound design or sound and music. That got a 10 out of 10. I've never given a 10 yet on this show, nor do I think I ever will again. But this movie got a 91 out of 100. This is the first A that's ever been given out on this show.
So,
boom.
Boom! We're close. I'm at 93. I have 93. I have a few 10s, and I have 1 8 actually.
Oh,
so,
all right.
But that's still amazing. It's a 93. You know what I'm saying? This movie is amazing. I haven't slapped anything with it, and I'm the nostalgic kind of guy here. So this movie is phenomenal. I am so excited to see it again. I'm so fucking excited to see it again. I would hunt down. I would find a dude on a street corner that had a DVD pirated version of this and ask me for the most obscure trade, and I would do it.
I would do it. Take it. Whatever. Just take my wallet. Give me the movie.
Yeah, just get it, please.
Right.
All right.
I filmed it out of my pocket with my phone. It doesn't look good. Fucking just give it to me.
Is there anything you want to add, Steve, to our old the Batman review by the Screen Bros?
Go see this movie. It's amazing. I mean, that's it. That's all you need. And if you're that person who's sitting there going after you're seeing it, I fell asleep or I was bored, what movie were you fucking watching? Open your eyes and pay attention. I am ready to fight.
He's ready to fight.
This is one of the best things I've seen in like 10 years.
Get your ass. So here it is. Get your ass off the couch. Go out and enjoy yourself a little theater experience. Do not wait. This movie, I feel, is completely justified in that big theater setting.
Amazing.
Go see it. Go out and see it. So this is Screen Bros coming at you with another movie review.
Favorite, comment, do your thing.
Yep. All the above.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Get in the comment section. Tell Steve to suck a fat one. And then we'll hopefully hear from you guys here soon. All right? We'll see you later.
Deuces.